Welcome to CNTV. I'm Brad Clonch.
And I'm Quinn Tran. The Chickasaw Nation, the Choctaw Nation, the state of Oklahoma, and the city of Oklahoma City have reached a water rights settlement.
That settlement will now go to Congress for final approval.
This is a day in history that we can remember. This is an historic agreement for us, for the Chickasaw Nation, the Choctaw Nation, the state of Oklahoma as a government, the city of Oklahoma City, but for all Oklahomans.
Governor Bill Anatoby joined other tribal and state leaders to announce the agreement that resolves long-standing questions over water rights ownership and regulatory authority over the waters of the Choctaw and Chickasaw Nation's historic treaty territories. It's an area that spans about 22 counties in south central and southeastern Oklahoma. The agreement provides a framework fostering collaboration on water resource concerns, while at the same time protects existing water rights and affirms the state's role in water rights permitting and administration. The agreement will also implement lake level restrictions to allow Oklahoma City's measured use of Sardis Lake for municipal supply purposes.
Through this settlement process, we were able to find a way to preserve and protect the water resources essential to economic growth and quality of life in south central and southeastern Oklahoma, while still providing water needed to meet the needs of the people of Oklahoma City. Under this agreement, the state will continue to exercise its authority to manage and protect the water resources throughout Oklahoma. However, as we move into the future, our nations, the Chickasaw and Choctaw Nations, will have a meaningful and active voice in the management of water resources well into the future throughout Oklahoma.
This agreement also strengthens our governmental relationships based upon common interests of the state and the Choctaw and the Chickasaw Nations. I'd like to applaud the determination, the visionary leadership of the Choctaw and Chickasaw Nation. Thank you. We appreciate what all the parties have done.
The organizations are now working with the Oklahoma congressional delegation to secure appropriate legislation. From academics, the arts, to athletics, Chickasaw youth are making a mark on their interest.
Meet a young Chickasaw who is making a name for herself in the world of golf.
I like to hear the sound because it goes ding. If it makes that sound, it's really good.
Her name is Peyton Factor. She's better known as Beans.
Reason why I'm named Beans is because whenever I was little, I would eat a lot of beans.
Beans is a 9-year-old rising star on the junior golf circuit. The Chickasaw from Ada, Oklahoma travels just about every weekend to play in tournaments across the country.
It's a relaxing game and you don't get very much stress, and your parents or your brothers or sisters can't yell at you whenever you're doing bad.
She's been hooked on the sport, playing tournaments since age 6.
My favorite is putting because the drive is for show and you putt for dough. Yay! It's harder than anything else, and I like challenges more than anything, and the hardest thing is putting, because you're on slopes and you don't get to pick where your ball is, and you also have to, if it's a double breaker, that means it's gonna go left and right, but sometimes it'll go straight and it'll go right and it'll go left. It's a lot about thinking, so you have to line up and do everything on your own, except sometimes if you're younger, your caddies can line you up on putts.
Just past that little black spot right there.
Her caddy is her daddy.
We work together pretty good most of the time, and sometimes she wants to do it on her own, and she does pretty good. We were in Quincy, Illinois, the Pepsi Little People Challenge, and she came out firing, and she played real good. I didn't think she was doing as good as she did, but once the scorecard figured everything up, she shot a 36 and she was in first place. I said, hey, it was a big day, it was a good day for us.
Every day is a celebration of life for the Factor family. When Beans was 6 weeks old, doctors gave her just days to live. She had a tumor near her ear that spread to her larynx.
We put her on prayer list. We took her to every church. We prayed for days, and we took her back, and the growing had slowed down.
The tumor disappeared months later. Her hearing wasn't affected. She made a full recovery.
I'm telling you, God has a plan for this child, and we're just here as, we're just the chauffeurs, and we drive and let her do whatever, whatever He's got planned for her, it's going to happen.
Sarah Factor says golf is a calm sport that has taught her young daughter life lessons: honesty, character, integrity.
She accidentally hit a ball, just tapped it when she was setting up, and so she had to stop. And I called the stroke on myself. What other game is that where, in golf, you call everything on yourselves. It's accountability, and it's owning up to your mistakes. And so that's what it's teaching her is, I've got to be responsible for my actions.
I've learned that you have to be quiet, you have to do the right thing, and you can't get mad, because if you get mad, it'll ruin your whole game.
Her approach to the game has won her titles and top finishes. Beans has made a name for herself even with professional players, including world #1, Lydia Ko.
I want to go to the LPGA, and for my job, I want to be a doctor. I either want to be a heart surgeon, or a brain surgeon, or a dentist.
Even though she's just 4 foot 4 inches tall, Beans knows with hard work, anything is possible.
I'm little, but then you have to look on the other side, because even though you're little, you can still beat other kids, because they think you won't beat them. They won't try their hardest. You try your hardest, and then you will beat them.
Beans is such a happy little girl. Her positive energy is contagious. Her parents are very supportive. It's a huge financial and time commitment to play golf at the level Beans is playing. Her parents hope Beans can inspire more Native children to try golf as a sport.
Beans shared that she'd like to play in the LPGA, but before that, she'd love to play college golf at Wake Forest. In other news, the Chickasaw Cultural Center hosted the Holba Pisachi Native Film Festival. Holba Pisachi means seeing pictures in the Chickasaw language. The two-day film festival showcased several independent productions that tell Native stories, produced by Native people.
We have various tribes, but they all have that one thing in common, that they're trying to get that Native story told out there in our way.
I ain't afraid to die anymore. I've done it already.
One of the featured films shown was the Academy Award-winning movie, The Revenant. The film features bows and arrows handmade by Chickasaw bowmaker Eric Smith.
The Chickasaw Cultural Center gets top honors by 2 organizations. The Association for Women in Communications honored the Cultural Center with the Clarion Award for its outstanding website. And the Chickasaw Cultural Center was recently named the Best State Tourism Destination by the Oklahoman newspaper's Reader's Choice Award. Oklahoman readers also selected Riverwind Casino as the best in-state casino. Riverwind, owned by the Chickasaw Nation, is located off of Interstate 35 and Highway 9 near Norman. Preparations are underway for the Chickasaw Nation's annual meeting and festival, a gathering of our people.
Save these dates, September 23rd through October 1st. We leave you with a look at the upcoming festivities.
The Chickasaw Nation Annual Meeting and Festival is almost here. Festivities begin Friday, September 23rd with a stomp dance and traditional games in Tullahoma, followed by traditional sporting tournaments, cultural demonstrations, art exhibits, children's events, and more throughout the week. The annual meeting and Governor Bill Anatobi's State of the Nation address are Saturday, October 1st in Tishomingo, followed by parade and activities families are sure to enjoy. For more information, visit chickasaw.net/annual meeting or call 580-371-2040.